I started playing Bloodstone with zero expectations. Now, it might be my favorite Bond game. But let's be honest, the question everyone's really asking is it better than GoldenEye on the Nintendo 64? I'll answer that question, but first, we need to see what Bloodstone does to stand out from the competition. In classic Bond fashion, the story kicks off with Bond doing Bond things to bad guys who want to take over the world, which naturally leads to Bond doing even more Bond things to even badder guys trying to do the same. The story is actually one of the highlights, so I won't spoil anything, but coming from someone who doesn't feel the need to watch Bond movies, I still really enjoyed it. I think most people will too. For those keeping track, Bloodstone takes place between Quantum of Solace and Skyfall. I've seen people describe Bloodstone as basically Uncharted with a Bond skin, and honestly, that's pretty accurate.
Yeah, well, let's just keep that between us.
The big difference is in the gunplay. Bond feels lighter, making the combat more fast-paced, kind of like Call of Duty. Uncharted, by comparison, has a slower, weightier feel to its shooting. Neither is bad, it just depends on your style. One of the things that Bloodstone does to stand out is its focus system. If you melee kill someone or hug them to death, as I like to say, you earn a focus charge. When you use focus, it auto-targets an enemy in front of you, pull the trigger, and you get a one-shot kill. If you got multiple charges, it'll automatically switch to the next closest target. If all you do is hide behind cover and shoot, the game won't feel very exciting. But if you make use of the focus system, it becomes way more engaging, and once you get into the flow of combat, Bloodstone starts to feel like an actual Bond movie. From fists to grenade launchers, there's a decent variety of ways to take out your enemies. That said, you'll usually end up using the same few guns since ammo is pretty limited for the rarer ones. Still, everything feels solid, and using the shotgun to snipe enemies never gets old. Now, when you think Bond, you think gadgets. Sadly, none of those made it into Bloodstone. Instead, you get an upgraded cell phone. With it, you can hack cameras, gather intel, and track enemy movement. Aside from the tracking feature, the phone is kinda lame. More gadgets would have really fleshed things out. There are a few driving sections, and these are actually a blast. They're full of action and really well done. And if you're wondering why the driving feels so good in a third-person shooter, it's because the devs also worked on Blur and Project Gotham Racing, two great racing games. Side note, I've been playing Blur recently, and it's been a lot of fun. The stages are pretty linear, so there's not much room to explore. That also means the game is fairly short. You can finish it in around 5 hours depending on difficulty and your skill level, but that's perfect for retro gamer dads who don't have a ton of free time. As for multiplayer, the servers are offline now, so ranked matches are gone. There is a LAN option, so if you have 16 friends, 16 PS3s, and 16 copies of Bloodstone, yeah, who am I kidding? No one has 16 friends. For a game that came out in 2010, Bloodstone doesn't really push the PS3 graphically, especially when you compare it to Uncharted 1 and 2. The grainy camera filter feels like it was used to hide some of the low-res textures. That said, the frame rate holds up. Even during heavy action, it's always smooth. I also don't notice any major screen tearing, which is a plus. Audio is a definite high point. Daniel Craig voices Bond, and Judi Dench returns as M. They both do a great job.
Thank you.
The original Bond theme song at the beginning is surprisingly solid, and the rest of the soundtrack fits the spy vibe perfectly. If you're wanting to hear the classic Bond theme though, you'll have to wait until the end credits. Bloodstone is far from perfect, but honestly, I had more fun playing it than I've had with any game in a long time. If I paid full price for it back in 2010, I'd probably would have been disappointed, but grabbing it for $20 today, even adjusted for inflation, feels like a great deal. With a story that doesn't overstay its welcome, fast cinematic gunplay, and solid performance despite its dated graphics, if someone were to ask me whether they should play it, I'd tell them yes, considerably. Now, do I think Bloodstone is better than GoldenEye for the Nintendo 64? That's hard to say, because nostalgia is such a powerful thing. Bloodstone can never replace the memories of our 4-player deathmatch in Facility. But seeing as I'll never get my 3 original friends together for GoldenEye, I'll have to go with Bloodstone as my Bond game of choice.